often thoughts of accidents, fear of heights, phobia of being with strangers, phobia of being with a small child, having a baby. Where are these memories come from? According to the researchers and the scientists' observations, it found that from the child 3 months baby to the 7 years of old child can observe anything like a cotton. So it's very important to understand the child's psychology, because what it is happening is manifestation is what we are, not what we want to be. Of course, we all have some dreams. Of course, we all have some goals. We think something to become. But at the same time, if the subconscious is clogged with all the negative thoughts, all the disempowering thoughts, the child's psychology slowly develops from 7 years old to the adult, and later stage it starts appearing as an actions. Many times our mind speaks us to achieve this dream, to achieve that dream. Maybe it is car, good relationship, good health, good career. At the same time, if the subconscious is coded with many traumatic childhood, traumatic means, you might have the question, what does that mean, Priya? Traumatic is meaning like something bad happened in the childhood. Maybe the surrounding people are literally crying, or something happened in the family members, something happened in the surrounding, and everything goes very like negative state, like traumatic parents, like the parents having the fighting all the time, or something related to that. Then this information can ruin the child's subconscious, and also it develops as a psychological pattern which manifests into adult life in a repetitive state. Maybe sometimes you can see people are going through several diseases, even if they are feeling like they are finding good doctor, they are feeling like they are happy with the health system, but some part of their mind keeps on starting questioning, like am I still fine? Am I going to be in again different trouble, or another disease? If such kind of repetitive pattern starts appearing, that means the mind again starts searching for the different problem. And if the problem is already disappeared for right now, mind is not completely fine with the system. Again, some part of the subconscious keep on rooting a new seed of happening of different problem. That's how people often manifest different problems into their life. Especially, you can see people having more anger, frustration, sad. They often, you will find the psychology is very deeply rooted with the traumatic childhood. If such kind of things are happening with you, let me tell you one thing. Even if you want a better life for yourself, your subconscious is not supporting your system to grow up with a better life, a better reality, a better dream life. We all deserve a better life. We all deserve a peaceful life, tranquil life. But at the same time, our emotions are so much deeply rooted with the negative thoughts, negative patterns, or traumatic things, traumatic accidents, you can say whatever. Then it is very important to rewire our subconscious. There is never late. When we learn something, we understand something, the knowledge can bring more light into our life. So this is the first seed, so we need to plant it and nurture it with watering every single day. This is the video I want to share with you, with 3 simple strategies how to understand the traumatic childhood, and also how to take care of your life with your own responsible actions. That's what I am going to discuss. Before that, Namo Himalaya. I am Priya, your mindset transformation and manifestation coach. As I already said, today we are going to discuss about very sensitive topic. It's about like a fairy tale childhood. What does that mean? Fairy tale means often we are in the fairy life when we are a child. At the same time, if we see something bad happened in our circumstance, we felt like this is the truth of our life. We are so absorbed to that thing, to that incident, to that scene, that it becomes like a storytelling in our life. It also appears in our life as it is, because our subconscious is completely absorbed into that. And now we need to understand the cycle of our life, what is happening wrong with us. Every time we have to see the pattern, we have to see the way it is appearing, we have to see the timeline it is appearing, then we can get rid of it. Once we understand the pattern, once we understand the way, how it happened, why it is happening, then we will be easily able to break the cycle and create a new life story for our own. Isn't it something worth for our life? By not delaying anymore, let's dive into the strategies. Let me tell you this story because this story is going to resonate with you and you will understand what I am trying to say and how you exactly acknowledge your story. And what happened is 3 years before, I went to Germany to visit my grandparents. At the same time, what happened, I also met one of my childhood friends who was living in India before, but now what happened, she moved to Denmark after her marriage. She was completely happy. She had a beautiful house, she had a beautiful husband, she had a great relationship with her husband and also her husband's family. All that I could see is a beautiful smile in her face. But what happened? Exactly after 2 years, I came to know that she was pregnant. And when I went to her house, she was looking very weird. I didn't know what happened to her. But one more thing I want to share. After she gives birth to the baby, she went to the post-traumatic pregnancy problem. And she was into depression. She didn't want to take care of the child. She just had the fear of lot of some things in her life. Fear of losing relationship, fear of losing house, fear of losing her child's love. At the same time, she was really needing some, parents' help or something. I don't know. What I exactly wanted to say here is why she had that kind of problem. Because as I already said, before her baby, she was completely looking fine. But you must know, where she was grew up with the childhood, her own childhood was not the same as she was growing another child in a different circumstance. Because exactly her emotion level are completely connected to the baby. But at the same time, she had the deepest rooted problems like traumatic things from her childhood, where she grew up with her parents or the upbringing. It was not completely comfortable for her or something weird for her life. And that was keep on coming up when she was trying to help her child. She was having the fear of abandonment or fear of not being a better mother, fear of not being something. All these things are coming from where? As you know, the circumstance was completely fine. The husband was quite good. Everything was going great. And where these kind of things are coming? These things are coming from the traumatic childhood, as a psychologist says. And how it happened. Often we are growing up with our parents, and at the same time our parents are going for work or certain things. They are being busy with the other stuffs. At the same time, if the baby is crying, then the parents are so frustrated that they don't even give a right attention to the child or the baby. These things keep on appearing in the baby one time, two times, three times, many times. At the same time, the behavior around the baby differently matters to the baby. She feels like she is going to be abandoned by the parents. That's why the baby starts crying more and more very loudly. Everything matters. Every energy matters. Everything we speak about matters. Everything we observe matters. Everything we perceive matters, especially in the childhood. If something is relating to your life, that means if something is not happening in your life and you have the dream, then you must acknowledge yourself. That's what are the things that had happened in your childhood. Even if something you can't remember, even if you can't recall the things, you can still start asking yourself by journaling. What is the first strategy? My first strategy, journaling, is all about you must write down what is the fear starts popping out in your mind. Your mind starts saying something when you are on the action. Because a lot of times what happens is we are taking some actions, but our actions are exactly not what we think in really. But it starts popping out, we just immediately take action. What is the thought that coming from in our mind? Because we are not the something that we don't want to, right? Something, our actions are so reactive, like out of anger, out of frustration. We just go through like an autopilot method. Like something happens, just we need to do that. We don't even think about it. Because as you know, I'm always talking about little bit about spiritual world, the law of cause and effect. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. If you really want your life to become peaceful, if you really want your life has to be like no dramatic, then you must understand the law of cause and effect really matters. Every action should come out of love. It should not come out of anger or frustration. I'm not telling that everything happens with you is because of your childhood or is because of your own thought. Of course, the surrounding people matters. Of course, the surrounding circumstance matters. Of course, where you are working, everything matters. But let me tell you one thing. If your actions are repetitive, same way, like you are every time on the frustrated, you're like every day you are worried for something, unknowingly, unawarely, your intention is not there. That means you are doing unconsciously, which is coming from your subconscious mind. And you must acknowledge it. You must break the pattern. Because every time you are doing some action that is coming up out of your subconscious pattern, and next time again it will appear, again you will do the same action. So you need to break the cycle. And how you will do, as I already said, by journaling, it will be very easy way. You will be understand how it will happen, how it will easily break down every single thing. That will be helpful. And the second strategy, let me tell you something. Have you ever gone to a school? School means where the small children are going to school. Because when I was growing, I knew that my childhood was not much good, but when I was with my school friends, I was often becoming happy. I often wanted to go to school with my friends. I often wanted to spend time with my friends, with my teachers. What happens? A small, beautiful smile from a child is like a petal of the lotus. Isn't it that? You will really heal from that patterns, because your childhood has gone some traumatic things which is really very sad and upset very deeply, which has to come out of your subconscious and from your life. All you need to do is heal yourself by going to a school, as I already said, or you can go to some orphans, spend time with some children, just give away some sweets, balloons, play with them. You will definitely heal yourself, your childhood, very, very fastest way. And the third strategy you can do is hire a therapist. Hire a therapist, start working on your own self journey. It's okay to take your own time. All you need to do is give your own time for yourself, for your mind, for your life. You are coming to this earth alone, you are going to go alone. But our spirit is eternal. It's very important to garland this spirit with beautiful thoughts, with beautiful behaviors, with beautiful empowering thoughts. It's very important. That's where you will find your own self, the authentic self and the higher self. What else you want? That's what I wanted to share in this video. If you feel like this video has been informative, please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe our channel. And also, if you feel like something you wanted to share your experience, then also you are very welcome to put it in our comment box. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until our next video. Namo Himalaya.